Hello YouTube, this is Valley View Railway and my name is Ed. Got a couple updates I want to show you with the layout. Been doing a little bit of work here and there on it and it's coming along slowly, but that's what layouts are for, right? First thing I've been doing is paint and track. And I'm going to take you over to the colors that I used first and then we'll get into the sections. First thing I do is I paint all the track with this Rust-Oleum flat black, and I do the entire track this way. I tape off the switches, obviously, because I don't want to get paint in the switches, and I'll go back in and hand paint the switches, as I'll show you later. Then I'll come in, what a lot of you mile railroad people do, use this camouflage Rust-Oleum, but this works really well. But you have to get the paints off the railheads really quick, because when it bonds on there, it gets on pretty tight. But it's got a really nice finish to it. It looks really good. I'm going to take you to that area right now. If you look down at the track here, and this is the process of the spray painting. This is a flat black base coat with the camouflage brown on it. And I think it come out pretty good. I like it. It's got a good, base to it. It looks kind of nice. A lot of people would leave it like this, and there's nothing wrong with that. All depends what you like. Now here's what I was talking about with the switches. As you see, I taped off the switches and I went and hand painted the ties and hand painted as much as the switch I could, because to me, it's a switching layout and the switches got to work perfectly or you're going to have nothing but headaches and problems, and I didn't want to get paint on the electrical contacts. So we'll go back to the paint section here, Warp Speed Captain. But when I go in to hand paint, because that's just a base, I go in with this Model Masters Railroad Tie Brown. Then I will go in with Model Masters Olive Drab. Then I will go in also and dry brush a natural gray. And then I'll finish off my tie plates with the rust color. And I'll take you through the steps. As you've seen the first step, I'll take you through now the hand painting section. This is the third part of the layout here. And if you notice, this is the hand painted section. And you can see the dark brown still showing through, and the rails are definitely dark brown. But I started randomly putting in the rail tie brown randomly. Like 2 ties, leave 3 ties dark brown, do a tie, and just a random pattern. And I do that through the whole layout. Then I'll come in with the olive drab, and about every 6 inches, I'll paint 1 tie, the olive drab. And actually, the olive drab and the railroad tie brown are very close. And I'll turn them over for you. And you can see, I hope you can see that. But they're very close in color. The only difference is the olive drab, obviously, it's got a little green in it. And I think the green is good because it maybe adds like an algae to the railroad tie, or like a moss color. And it's really not this, you really can't tell it's on there, but there's just a different shade of brown. And it's something I like to do. And, I know a lot of people do. You do what you want. I mean, it's your layout. And then the dry brushing, and you'll see, like, there's a nice dry brushed tie gray, and that's like a transitional from a new tie to an old tie. And I do that every so often. And I think it came out pretty good. I think it's a fairly nice effect, and looks way better than just a standard, railroad color track that when it first started. So then I go into my last section here. And last section is I've done the tie plates. And as you can see, I think it's a pretty desirable look. Now, I didn't go in and paint the tie sides. I mean, not the tie sides. I didn't paint the rails rust. I left them dark brown because I think from the distance that I'm standing usually when I'm operating the railroad, and I think it gives enough rust to it to make it look decent. And I'm pretty pleased with the way it came out. And, you know, everybody paints track differently, and nobody's wrong. Everybody likes what they do. But if you look at it, you know, from a top view, I mean, with the different colored ties and that, and when if you had the, you know, the ballast in there and you start weathering the ballast, I think this is going to be a fairly desirable look. And I'm very pleased with it so far, you know. So that's where we're at with the track painting. It's been a long process, and it's a very tedious process, and I can only handle about an hour or so at a time of it, and I have to put the paintbrush down for a while. But I want to get into something else. Something else I've been working on in between is this road here. Now this is a Walters kit, and I picked it up at a train show, and it was about half off, so I decided to try it, and I think it looks pretty good. And here it is here. It's just an expander, straight section expander set, and it's all I really needed for, you know, the switching layout that's only 18 inches deep. So, and I wanted to try it, and it's definitely a good kit. It comes out to a nice road. I mean, you can see the nice crown on the road, and, you know, the curbs, and you got to cut in the sewer grates, and you got to drill the holes for the sewer caps too. And as I said, it was a lot of fit and finish, but it's coming out nice. Part of it's painted, part of it's not. And I got highways and byways that's going to finish off the striping, which I've seen a couple people use online, and it looks like it comes out really nice. The one thing you're going to notice, though, is the concrete crossings are not prototypical of the 1970s, and I know it, but it came with the kit, and I just wanted to try it out. So, and that's where it is, and somehow it got time warped back to the 1970s. I like the way it looks, and I didn't want to, you know, I just didn't want to buy or make my own at this time. I might do that. I might change them out later, and that's something I could do if it starts bothering me. But I like the way it looks. And I'm going to add some cracks in the street and weather it when it's all done and painted, then I'll finally install it. But it's coming out pretty good. A couple other things I did buy at the train show. Now, this kit has been on every one of my layouts, and this layout's going to be no different. And it's the old Tyco Machine Shop. And I don't know what the company is going to be on my layout. This has been on every one of my layouts, though. From HO scale when I was a kid to my early 20s when I did an N-scale layout. They had the N-scale kit that was very similar to this. And I just like the building, and it's going to be a tradition on this layout also. And that's going to be kind of over here. It's not going to be a trackside service. It's just more of a aesthetic, you know, pleasing to the eye kind of setup. I'm going to have a parking lot probably behind it, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. But it's something I picked up really cheap too. I only got it for like $8, and it was all new, brand in a box. It had the paper, you know, the plastic on it and everything, which is amazing. Another kit I did purchase at the show was a Walters kit, which is right here. There's a company right by my work that's a chemical company that looks just like this. So I'm definitely gonna make this, and it's one of their lower line kits. But I like the way it looks. It fits perfect, and I'm gonna add some tanks, and it's a chemical company more than likely. But it's gonna be right here, and then I'd like to put, like, you know, some tanks and stuff here, so I could have some tanker cars unloading and stuff. But that should fit good there. And there's one other thing I bought I'd like to show you guys. 2 weeks ago, I bought, it's my favorite locomotive, and this, I know it's a main line from Walters. This just came out early February. It's the GP9 hide nose in the Illinois Central Paint Scheme, which was one of the locomotives that I used to see daily as a kid. And I bought it at my hobby shop, and Walters had this listed for $199. And my hobby shop that's close to me, and it's up in Lombard, actually, in Illinois, and it's actually Lombard Hobbies. You can check them out online. They got great prices for locomotives, and they've got more selections of different style locomotives than I've ever seen. And then I don't get any plugs from it. I'm just letting you guys know. It came out to $139, so it was definitely a lot cheaper than what Walters had it. And I did get the grab iron kit for it to make it more detailed, and it should run perfect on this layout. But that's where we're at right now, and I'm going to continue with the track, and when I start getting into finalizing the road, I'll probably have another video coming up. And the only other thing I got to mention is I'm starting to ramble on right now, but having a hard time finding 1970s cars. Don't know why. I think they would be more available than they are. I do got these plastic ones I picked up at random shows and online, and then I did get some nicer die-cast ones that I paid a lot more money for. But I'm still not seeing the basic selection I need for like everyday use, like station wagons, and like a 1970 something, tricked out van would be nice, something, but I'm not seeing that. And I don't know, do you guys have any ideas what stores carry them? Please leave it in a comment. I'd really appreciate it. But I think I'm going to be wrapping the video up right now. And we'll definitely get back to you soon with more updates to come. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you really like the content, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. And bye for now.